BKs and ZK Marketer talk ZK Bridges. Last time we touched on ZK Infra and how it brings a lot more interop across the industry.
But I still think most don't understand how powerful ZK is for these use cases. I know some people in the MENA community were highlighting and commenting on this tweet the other day, referencing, how cool Succinct is and some of the things that Succinct unlocks. And this technology today is actually being used by Nori. But yeah, Brandon, could you just sort of like talk us through the tweet and some of the
benefits of ZK Bridges?
Yeah, so let me talk you through it. I guess the first thing you should know is that bridging in general, the typical bridge, I guess, they rely on either it's fully centralized or they rely on security councils for upgrading, and the bridges themselves are vulnerable as assets pass through them. Now with ZK, we can actually lock up capital on one chain and just bring the proof that the capital is locked to another. And this improves the security of the entire ecosystem by like an order of magnitude. The way that all bridges work is effectively assets are locked on one end, and then on the other side, they're sort of created. And then when we bridge back, you delete them from one side and then unlock on the other side. The issue with typical bridges, if you don't have ZK, this mechanism is very brittle. But if you have a ZK proof to secure that interconnect, then it's basically a lot safer under a lot fewer trust assumptions. You just have to trust the math and the code. And then at the end of the day, it's harder to steal the money, which is the important thing.
It's such an elegant solution and like it's really like solving a real problem in the space. And yeah, I guess maybe since we've spoken about like locking state, locking capital in the L1, maybe we can also talk about like the capital efficiency from that tweet. Maybe you can talk us through the benefits here as well.
Yeah, so basically your assets in theory don't have to be fragmented. So the same 10 ETH sitting on L1 could simultaneously serve as collateral across other blockchains like MENA or L2s on Ethereum, just using these ZK proofs as like a mechanism to ensure that the information is, where it should be. And I guess like the notion of capital efficiency, here's an example. It's like having money in your bank account working in 3 different investment funds at the same time without it ever having to be moved. I guess that's sometimes sounds a little scary, but it's important to create a functioning economy. With ZK, capital can be not stuck in Ethereum land or be hard to use from Ethereum land, but we can enable a more, a more vibrant ecosystem.
I just want to note for people as well, obviously, like we don't have any financial applications on MENA at the minute. So in terms of like MENA, it's much more about bridging state. This is where we're going to see the biggest unlock for developers within the MENA ecosystem in the short term, at least. I guess thinking about bridge and state brings us nicely to like composability. Maybe we can talk about, the composability side that ZK unlocks that as well.
Yeah. So as a reminder, composability, it's the notion that things can be easily plugged into each other. And then those things that you build can be plugged into other things. What's really powerful is you can take any kind of result that you verify with a proof and be able to use it in other places. So we're transitioning to a world in which there's data somewhere on Ethereum, and you can bridge it over to MENA thanks to the work that Nori's done, and then using MENA's like unique recursive proof system and all the infrastructure we built around that, you can easily compose that with lots of other information and other proofs of other things to build up more complicated applications. What this means is you don't have to keep recycling, rechecking, reusing proofs. You can simply like go on and like work with whatever you've built up. To speak like a little more concretely, for example, you could bridge ZK IDs from different providers on Ethereum and prove them on MENA. And once you've done that and you've kind of put it into the MENA recursive proof, you don't really care about where that information came from. You just remember what properties and what attestations you've verified.
Thank you. Yeah, this is so important. MENA has been designed precisely from the ground up with everything being proven into a single proof. Essentially, this means that MENA's proof of everything allows you to forget about all the proofs that went into it and, just simply get on and use the data. And that's the real like beauty and, the elegance of MENA. You have all the data in that single proof. We talk about it a lot, but I still don't think people, really gather the true power of this.
Yeah, exactly. One last thing. Internally from O1 Labs, we have Dennis on our team that's working with the Nori team to build on top of the shoulders of the great work from Geometry Research to make O1JS Blobstream, which is this project to make Celestia SP1 proofs compatible on Mina. So Dennis and the Nori team are working together to extend that to more general purpose proof conversion. So they're enabling more use cases, supporting more proof systems. The work is still pretty early, but you can follow along under the Nori GitHub organization.